What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Piscean Predator. And you know I'm back with that TPP True Crime Talk. And we on that day 10 of this Murdaugh Trial. And let me tell you, man. I got some thoughts. Right? I got some thoughts on this. Not speculations. This is just making sense. So today, the jury got to hear testimony from Mr. Murdaugh's associates or ex-associates from the law firm that he was at. One of the partners testified today, and the CFO, COO testified. So basically, the people that did the video interviews, they got to testify in front of the jury. And dude, whoo! You know the jury has to be shook. And my favorite part of it was basically one of the male associates, one of the male partners from the firm, and the defense for Mr. Murdaugh. They kind of went at it, man. It was pretty entertaining. It was like basically like two hockey players taking off the gloves, bro. It was pretty tight, and I could see why the law firm Murdaugh came from is so good, because that dude, he was on point. He wasn't taking no shit. He wasn't being manipulated. He was matter of fact about everything. It was dope. It was it was damn good. All right. So anyways, here's the deal. I think he's screwed. Right? I was thinking hung jury, and that still might be a possibility. I'll cover that. But like, first, here's the deal. His whole alibi is shot. We know that he wasn't at his mom's house that night, as long as he said. Okay. We know that he was seen bringing in a wadded up tarp or rain jacket with GSR all over it. Right? He basically somewhat indirectly threatened the caretaker by, telling her that he was there 30, 45 minutes. And then after that, trying to talk to her about her job and her wedding. Come on, man. Okay. Then he's on a Snapchat video there messing with the trees with Paul. And then you hear him on a video recording that Paul takes at the kennels. You hear him, dude. So he was there. And now the timeline's all shot. And then you got to think too. Crime scene wise, okay, 2 guns being used. 2 guns that calibers that they own. And one of the calibers that was used, they're missing the gun. So they have, okay, not to be confused, they talk about 300 blackouts. Okay, 1 was stolen and 1 was bought replaced. So they had 2. Okay, 2 of them. Now 1 was recovered, right? The one that was recovered doesn't match any of the ballistics. The one that's missing though, right? Well, they could prove that some of the bullets, let's back up to the first one. They could prove that some of the bullets were previously cycled through the one they found, some of the casings. How does that happen, right? Reloading, that can happen. Or if you load up, right, put a clip in and, I don't know, cycle through to like work oil through your gun, or just make sure your ejector's working properly, you could do that. I don't know. I mean, there's different reasons for that. Now, crazy part is the 300 blackout that his son Paul had is missing. So you have a 300 blackout missing that it found could probably match up ballistic wise to any bullets or casings found at the crime scene, because that's convenient. And then one of the shotguns, that was used, I believe was recovered. But there's no way, there's no ballistic testing that you could really, say for sure, right? And match the shotgun up. But it's crazy, right? Like, somehow somebody just rolled up there with a shotgun and a 300 blackout, same calibers that they own, commit the murder and bounce? Nah, man. But I could see an attorney coming up with that. I can see an attorney that comes from a long line of attorneys with all kinds of experience coming up with a game plan like that, though, on the fly. Premeditation, I think for sure, probably not very long. I'm thinking like probably within 24 hours he knew this was going to happen. Yeah, or even less. But there's just too much, man. There's just too much. The fact that he was way too clean at the crime scene, the weird stuff going on with his clothes and them smelling like detergent, like when he supposedly had them on all day. Like, bro, they're gonna smell a little musky for sure. And the fact that that was actually testified to on the stand by forensics. Like, what the hell? So, all that being said, trial-wise, I think he's guilty. Now, but here's the problem: is in this trial, right? There we go, a little light. In this trial, now, this jury isn't allowed to take notes. Now, that's a problem because there's so many details and so much evidence that it's got to be hard for some of them to keep track of that. It has to be. Now, easy for us to sit back and watch video after video and kind of replay after replay and like really get it cemented in, but they can't do that. They're not allowed to do that. So, problem is there's too much evidence, too many details. Now, the other problem is the defense. He's really good at getting things. The way he cross-examines things, I could see people getting confused. It's hard to like keep up, and he's really good at trying to undermine facts. So I could see that throwing some jurors off. So that's where I'm kind of worried, because I feel like the prosecution has a pretty solid case now with just looking at everything as a whole, and especially psychologically, right? They think that he did this for sympathy, and it kind of checks because, like, think about it. For somebody to think like that, they'd have to be able to commit some pretty manipulative, heinous shit. And this dude embezzled money and lied to family and his brothers in the firm for 10 years. Like, that's something special, bro. That's narcissistic sociopath next level. And then add spoiled silver spoon. Now, and then possible drug problem. Now, all that, right? And he's about to lose everything. Sounds legit to me. Sounds like prosecution has a pretty solid case to me, and it sounds like a pretty solid theory. I know a lot of like the attorneys I was hearing talk online on podcasts would be like, it's kind of, I don't know, man, that seems kind of crazy to think that I would have just witnessed the circumstantial evidence that he just did it. Well, nah, dude, it's pretty solid, especially in the fact that right after this happened, the firm's kind of backed off of looking into his money laundering, basically, or embezzlement, not laundering, embezzlement, and they backed off for a little bit, so they felt bad for him. So in his head, he was kind of right, even though like realistically, I mean, like long term, dude, that wasn't gonna work. But like I could see somebody with that type of mentality where he thinks he's so smart and so intelligent, he got away with everything for so long, and there was so much sympathy for him, and like I could see it, man. I could see it. And then the fact that like his son was embroiled in that boat case, where he caused that girl to die, killed that girl, dude, drinking and boating into a bridge. And there was a lot of heat out. So, I mean, he had that on his side. So, like, I mean, if you look at it from a sociopathic, crazy person, we've seen people do way worse to family for less, for no reason. So, you take the right mental state, the right circumstances, and I think this was it. And in my opinion, I think he did it. But, like I said, there's that wild card with his defense, and then the jury not being able to take notes, and it just being so much evidence and so much testimony that there could be, doubt with some people, man. I don't know. Here's the other thing for me, though. It's been exhausting because I'm trying to stay to the facts of this case, right? But here's the thing, you guys, is that there's all kinds of other stuff that's going on with this family in the behind the scenes. There's other cases they may be attached to. So I don't know, dude. It's pretty crazy. So I'm looking forward to the conclusion of this. I want to see what happens. I think he's gonna end up being convicted, and yeah, at least that's how I feel. We'll see what happens. But let me know how you guys feel about this whole case. Thoughts, arguments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Are you right? Are you wrong? Hit me up down in the comments, man. Much love, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, man, it's your boy, Piscean Brother. Much love. I'm out. Peace.